Hey guys, and welcome back to our showcase on the Sega Master System games of Sonic. What the hell is going on here, Flame?
I think Eggman's just realised that you can just grab him by the tail and then he can't fly away. It's actually a smart move, all things considered.
I see. That's where the nursery rhyme came from. Catch him Miles by the toe. If he hollers, let him go, and then viciously murder him if you don't get all the Chaos Emeralds.
See, I was going to say that's dark, but given the original version that's a little bit darker, I think we'll just let it slide. But
yeah, let's run away quickly.
Anyway, the Sega Master System version of Sonic 2 starts off drastically different than its Mega Drive counterpart, and pretty much stays, I would say, about 95% unique all the way through. As with Sonic 1, we're still finding the Chaos Emeralds in the levels themselves. Tails is playable here for the very first time before his Mega Drive debut, which I found pretty interesting. And I would say the most infamous part about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Master System version, is that it's balls hard at times.
Well, I will correct you slightly there, because Tails isn't actually playable here. This is just his first appearance in the series.
I know where I went wrong there. Do you know where I went wrong, Flame?
Because his first time playable was in Sonic 2 Mega Drive?
No, because the next game we're covering is Sonic Chaos, where he is playable.
Yeah, fair way. Either way, you were wrong, so that's what's important. But yeah, I say...
Oh my god, what was that piercing blow?
I will say, although Tails isn't playable, there's actually like an almost complete sprite sheet of him like within this game's data. And so that kind of suggests that maybe he was originally intended to be playable, but it just never finished off, or like it was taken out later on in development or something like that.
Happens all the time in game development, you know.
It does, but I believe this game actually came out like a very short while before the Mega Drive version of Sonic 2, so that means that this was actually Tails' first appearance in a video game.
Okay, we finally reached the truth of the matter, and before we're completely done with this, Flame, what's your opinion on Underground Zone, mate?
It's okay, it's probably the least offensive level in the game, but that's not saying much, given this game, I know this is like the infamous one of like the 8-bit games, and I can see why. Like, I don't think it's like unplayable abysmal, but it's also pretty frustrating in parts, to probably put it the best way possible.
Yeah, for sure, I like it. I have a teeny bit of a soft spot for it in my blackened heart, but not as much as Sonic 1, and Eggman, what are you doing?
See, that's what I was getting at when I say I think Eggman has a, like, pride issue when it comes to Sonic. Because, like, he could have just let Sonic lose there. Sonic would have just fallen into the pit and died. But no, he wants to be the one to defeat Sonic himself.
Oh, my god, this boss.
This thing down here is so fucking bizarre looking. Like, there is actually a full body sprite for that in the data, but you only ever see its head and its claw thing.
Probably for the best. Yeah, there's a lot of weird game design decisions. He's going nuts down there, Jesus. And the Game Gear version of this boss is, I would say, nigh on unplayable at times, because not only do you have the screen crunch, but those balls, yeah, I said balls, they come in at random and bounce at random heights, so good luck, Willow.
Yeah. Like, this one I sort of got away with just standing in the safe spot because I could see where it was landing. On the Game Gear version, you don't kind of have that privilege. And speaking of irritating things, here is Sky High Zone.
Hang gliders, Flame, explain!
What is there to explain other than the fact that they don't work how you would expect them to work? We'll see me get on a hang glider soon enough, I'm pretty sure, so yeah. But the main thing to do with this that I recall is, I can't remember if it's Act 1 or 2 actually, where the Chaos Emerald is, but the Chaos Emerald's a bit of a bitch. But yes, this seems to be that I think right is down and left is up, and it's like, I don't know how the fuck it's meant to work, but I just sort of wing it most of the time.
Yeah, this was I would say this is as far as I used to get as a kid, because I don't remember beating this. Oh my god, why is that so piercing?
I know, I'm cringing every time it happens. I'm just like, it sort of makes me want to, whenever we get to the results screen, just take my headphones off and just go, no, Nope, I'm done for the night. Sorry, bye.
Fair play to Act 2 of Sky High Zone. Like, it looks pretty nice aesthetically. Like, it was snowing all day today, and that's more aesthetic, but raining, storming, invisible lizards which should really stay the fucking Green Hill Zone and know their place. But yeah, it looks nice. I can't hate Sky High Zone at the end of the day.
Although we did just see what's probably the most annoying part, because like I said, the Chaos Emerald there, you have to bounce on the clouds. Only certain clouds will bounce, the other ones you fall through. And you've got to bounce the right amount of times so that you've got enough, like, high and forward momentum to be able to get it without flying into that enemy that's placed just a little bit above it. So yeah, that took me probably a good few minutes just to get that there.
Well, I think you would have done better than me. All the same. Oh, why did they drop the rainy aesthetic? It was amazing.
Yeah, but you know, the weather can't bow down to what's aesthetically pleasing to you.
I remember these guys. Aren't they used in a future boss in Sonic 2? Flame or am I thinking of Chaos, actually? I think they just reused the sprite in Chaos.
Maybe. I do recognise them from something else as well, so we may see that in the next part.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is kind of a weird thing, given you can't actually see the boss through a lot of the battle. You just got to wait for him to pop his head up, and hopefully not get knocked back onto the projectile, because the bouncing physics in this are a little bit weird.
Does the ostrich ladder also have like a full body sprite? Am I to imagine that nightmare?
Yes, he does.
Oh my god.
He does. Like, I was just nosing through the cut sprites and now on Retro a little while ago, and some of it, like, yeah, they do go to extra lengths that didn't need doing. But he's got his, like, nice round body under them cloudy things.
That's the opposite of AMS. Aqua Lake Zone. I always confuse this with like another water zone, which I think is like, it might be in Chaos, it might be in Triple Trouble. I'm not entirely sure, but oh my god, that move is actually in Donkey Kong Country 3. They stole it, the bastards.
Yes, do you really want to be associating anything with Sonic 2 for the Master System, though?
Huh, interesting. We actually have to go, like, to the left and down. That's new.
Yeah.
And you've got to make that very careful fall there so that you don't fall in either the arrow that gets shot up or the spike pit to the left of it.
Ugh. Oh, this is just mean.
Or it's just after a few dud attempts of doing that, I realised that I've just got to hug the fucking wall.
I didn't get a chance to mention it in our Sonic 1 coverage, but in Jungle Zone, there was a one-up right over a spring that could bounce you back, like, into the waterfall section where you might actually die.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like tempting fate at that point. Is it worth gaining a life while losing a life?
I see, this is why I can't entirely hate Sonic 2 for all the game design decisions I don't agree with. Each zone has you doing something new. Like in Underground Zone, we had the minecarts. Sky High, we had the the hang gliders and the rainy, windy section. Here we've got all kinds of, like, weird auto tunnels and, this weird little bubble system, which I think they brought back in, was it Forces or Generations?
Ooh, Mania?
Yes, it was in Mania.
And it was also in a part of Triple Trouble, if I recall correctly, as well. So they did get some mileage out of that.
It's a pretty cool system, it's not too intrusive, it doesn't anger your parents-in-law. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't think anybody knows where you're going with this, Tom.
No, but it's the kind of thing where they kind of had to get creative with the 8-bit games, because the Master System, it doesn't have the amazing blast processing that the Mega Drive does. So, like, if you're going too fast on the screen, or if there's too many things on the screen, as we saw with Labyrinth Zone, like, it can't really hack it. So they've got to kind of come up with other things to kind of give you to do, just to kind of keep the levels interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's the mark of, like, working within limitations and still coming out with something interesting, which is why, when people say, oh, I don't like the Master System in Game Gear Sonic games because I'm a fucking pleb, I'm like, listen, right, they tried, it was a different time.
The plebs who, like, don't like it, as opposed to the plebs who sit there content with the lesser versions, Tom.
I mean, I played both of them because I had a rich mummy growing up.
Well, I mean, I was a spoiled brat as well, but still, gotta kind of like take what it is.
True. You can't ignore the truth, Tom. I can and will. That kind of reminds me, I think, of Gigalopolis Zone from Sonic Chaos, the next game we'll be covering tomorrow.
I fucking love that game, that name of the level so much.
No, you were right the first time. I love Chaos in name and game.
Yeah, true. Chaos is a fun game, but we'll see that in a bit.
Richie, how do you feel about Sonic's sprite in this game? Because it is obviously unique to the 8-bit Sonic games.
It's alright. I mean, can't say anything hugely wrong with it, other than I think it was in the title screen, like his spines seemed a lot shorter than they probably should be. Part of that might just be because I'm used to him with longer spines, but like they seem really odd. And I mean, this particular sprite is slightly derpy. I think it's because his eye just keeps going up and down and up and down and up and down.
It looks like he's trying to get
out. It looks a little bit wrong, and also it looks like he's kind of polishing the bubble to get up, which is a bit of an odd choice if you ask me.
Love the sperms hanging down from the ceiling.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. But, like, in terms of Sonic's design here, obviously it's simplified because, you know, colour limitations and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, like, we've had confirmation at that South by conference that Generations, Mania and Forces have the same classic Sonic, but is this the same classic Sonic? Because he looks a little bit different.
I would classify this as if you want to really be that type of Sonic fan, this is an alternate universe, because it's obvious, you know, plainly that in Generations, you know, classic Sonic goes through the Mega Drive versions of the levels.
I guess, but then, like, just let me have something. I'm so desperate for a Sonic multiverse to spoke out over, okay?
Speaking of, when it came to Generations 3DS, I was so hoping that they'd take levels from, like, the handheld Sonic games, like, you know, have Jungle Zone, Aqua Lake Zone, get some stuff from, like, Rush, Triple Trouble, stuff like that, but alas, they didn't, and then they didn't make a Generations 2, so fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, well, you see, that was your problem. You had too much faith in them at the time to do what most people probably would have expected them to do, because that would have been too much work.
That was following colours, though.
Yeah, that was like the one point in Sonic's like history where they've had a lot of goodwill. Like naturally they pissed it all away with Lost World, but hey, they had it for a little while.
They did indeed, and I think it's sort of what makes where we are right now a little bit frustrating, because obviously I think a lot was made out of the South by Southwest panel for some reason, and it sort of wasn't really anything.
It said specifically, join us for the future of Sonic, and then they come out with, like, Sonic Mania Plus, which is like an updated, enhanced... It's basically Sonic Mania Final Plus, or Final Mix, you know? Fuck it, I heard the word plus and I said it twice, god damn it. Let's just talk about friggin' Green Hills Zone. They finally got it right, they pluralized it, and if you recognise the music, that's because, you know, they'd eventually, they'd sing over this for the opening of, I believe, the Japanese version of Sonic CD.
Ah.
In parts, although I also, like, the other time where I hear, like, a bit of musical reference is back in Bridge Zone in the first game. Like, there's parts of the melody of that sound a little bit like the SA1 Believe in Myself as well. I think that might be a bit, like, more coincidental, but I definitely hear the melody a little bit.
Yeah, I completely forgot to bring that up, but, you know, with 2D Sonics, you kind of have to pick and choose when to talk about stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, another instance of that I can think of is that there are bits of what sounds like the original Green Hill Zone theme in Dreams of an Absolution.
Yeah, I believe Bentley Jones has actually confirmed that was entirely coincidence.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that as well, but it's just like, sneaky blighter. There's times where people make references and don't even realise they've done it.
Yeah.
Because I know that this is kind of ridiculous that I'm saying this now because me and Tom are going to be recording Bayonetta shortly, but in the original Bayonetta, in the very first cutscene, there's reference made to Eggman the Destroyer. And Kamiya-san wrote that into the script, not even thinking about Sonic. He just put that into the script because he thought it sounded funny. And then people were just like, Sonic, and he was just like, wait, what? Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, let's just leave it in.
Oh yeah, I forgot those people exist.
Kamiya doesn't strike me as the type of video gamer who would follow the Sonic franchise, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, yeah, but you see, he really likes his old Sega games. Like, really likes his old Sega games.
Well, he's oversensitive and he blocks everyone, so... I don't know. I kind of like the design for this guy. Like, he just looks so derpy with his little pig face and that.
So, basically, this is a sumo Power Ranger pig?
Apparently.
I guess. Also, he defied gravity completely over there. You have, like, a rolling ridge. You're meant to use the ridge.
But fuck that, that's Sonic shit rolling down hills, I just want to fly.
I guess so.
Do you want to fly high?
Yes. Yes, I do. But we gotta save Tails first.
Yeah, oh my god, can you imagine what Robotnik's doing to him right now? He's got him, like, locked up, he's just, like, poking him with a stick, singing off key, me, my mo, me, my mo, me.
Yeah, he's turning him into that thing that he turned into at the end of Lost World, although he didn't really turn into a robot, he was just sort of partly robotised, but he wasn't really.
He was Tails, man.
Okay, Flame, okay. Don't try and tie Lost World into something cool and like Mega Man. It's funny you bring up roboticized Tails, because that was a thing in a very early Sonic the Hedgehog, like, UK strip, and it kind of looked a bit similar, right down to only covering one of his eyes and whatnot.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that as well, roughly around the time when Lost World came out, and everyone was just like, oh, I see what you're referencing, while we were all just like, you could have gone somewhere with this, and you really didn't.
Well, be glad they took that rather than trying to do, like, fucking Titan Tails or some shit.
It is destiny!
Oh god, these Sonic franchises had some weird designs, let's put it that way.
So, Gimmick Mountain, Flame, explain to us a thing. What's your favourite part of this level, least favourite part?
Well, it's a mountain with gimmicks, but, like, I don't even know how to feel about this. It kind of does what it says on the tin, really.
Feels a little bit like a Sonic CD level, with, like, going back and forth and
They're
whatnot.
Fun.
Debatable.
Yes, they are. This is, like, I would rather play Wacky Workbench over this, I don't give a fuck.
That's fucking with my Sonic senses, that we finish a stage on the left of the screen.
Oh, wait till we get to Blast, trust me on that.
Oh, not looking forward to that. I don't think I've actually finished Blast, so that'll be entirely on you, Flame.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that one, for a number of reasons.
I can't believe we waited until now to bring it up, but though Ancient made the Master System Game Gear version of Sonic 1, they didn't make this game. That was actually developed by Aspect, who also did Chaos, Triple Trouble, and Sonic Blast.
Yes, and they also did Sonic the Hedgehog's Game World on the Sega Pico. That game that everyone loves. I don't believe they had anything to do with Tails Music Maker though. So, like, they just got one of them. Like, I can't actually remember much of how those games played, but they're another, like, little lost part of Sonic history.
Well, you know, you could always record them for us, and we'll do some playthroughs.
I could also not.
True, very true, my friend, very true. Gimmick Mountain would, of course, have to include the springs that bounce you back into spikes and whatnot.
Well, of course! I mean, also invisible walls.
Well, they're not invisible walls, are they? They're visible walls that you can walk through for some reason.
Close enough descriptor.
I don't know, Rich. Visible and invisible are the complete opposite thing.
Alright, Flame, let it go, let it go. You see how short these Gimmick Mountain stages are? That's because there's a lot of I can't even say obfuscating. Is that the right word, Rich?
I mean, so there's obfuscating. I'm not sure that that's necessarily the word you're looking for.
Confusing? Elaborate?
Yeah, go with those words, we know those.
Just so we can move the fuck on.
Yeah, what point were you trying to make?
I don't know, Flame, I just don't know, mate.
Okay. Well, the reason why these levels seem short is probably because I'm taking out all the parts where I had crashed into shit and walked off to the wrong direction, and all the other shit that you can accidentally do to get lost in these levels. Although the next level will be worse for that.
Well, you see, yes, that would be because a lot of this is clearly meant to obfuscate people, because I think you are right in using that term for this area, Tom, because it's to make obscure, unclear, or unintelligible,
There you go.
or to bewilder someone.
I use words right, I just don't know when to use them correctly.
Just got to use an advanced and extended vocabulary to fabricate an illusion of intelligence.
There you go. 2 pig bosses in a row. What are we playing, Mother or something?
Although clearly this is sort of more of a warthog type dealio. I mean, what did Eggman do to Pumbaa?
It's funny you mentioned that, because Jungle Zone, back in Sonic 1 Master System, kind of reminded me of the Hakuna Matata stage with all the waterfall platforming antics.
Yeah, and I have to say I'm quite glad that you did sort of fix yourself there, because it almost sounded like you said Hakuna Matata. And I was just like, are you getting a little bit mixed up with, like, Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon with the Malasada or something?
Always have to mock my way of words. Scrambled Egg Zone, oh my god.
How do you like mazes? How do you like trial and error?
Ugh.
Not that much, but I do like scrambled egg. Put a bit of pepper on it, a bit of tomato sauce, boom, job's a gun.
Yeah, I've always been more a boiled egg fan, just gotta say.
Yeah, boiled egg. I have, thankfully, in the past 5 years or so, gotten to like fried egg, but those are basically the only types of egg I really like.
Fried egg, gotta eat more fried egg, thank you.
Yes, I'm so glad people come to our channel for video gaming commentaries.
Oh, what a bunch of hacks we are, but yeah, vivid. I think, like, I'd say teenager memories of getting lost in this pipe system.
Yeah, this is the worst kind of level design for me, because this is the kind of maze where you can't see where everything is on the screen, because naturally it's, like, spread across the whole level. But it's also, like, there doesn't seem to be much rhyme or reason to where things are placed, so, like, the only way reliably to get through this is trial and error, see what works, what doesn't, and, like, that is not puzzling enough to feel satisfying when you get through it. But it's also not like a challenge thing that you gotta sort of work through. It's literally just trial and error, and it's just kind of frustrating.
Yeah, it's annoying. I have to say, I love the intro, like, title cards each zone has. That gave Sonic 2 a lot of personality to me back in the day. It's such a little innocuous thing, but it gives it a ton of personality in the end.
Some of them seem to, like, when they show Sonic on there, they seem to use, like, lower colour versions of the 16-bit sprite designs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
And so, like, there is that little bit more detail to them, so it does add a little bit of personality to it, like you say.
Oh god, I'm starting to get a bit dizzy here.
Hey, more of these pipes. Yeah, we're going all over the fucking place.
Yeah, and also, is it just me, or do the highlighting on the rocks when you're going through the pipe sort of look like arrows pointing you to the right? Or has this level truly scrambled my brain?
I think it's scrambled your brain like a scrambled egg.
It probably has.
So... how do you think Tails is doing right now? Probably doing better at commentary than we are, to be honest.
Probably, but also I'm sure he's fine because he's been in all of the bloody hell. What the hell's happening? He's been in every single one of the title cards, so clearly he's absolutely alright and going on this journey with us, even though Eggman captured him at the start and hasn't given him back to us at any point. So,
Well, you say that. That could easily be like Sonic's old photos that he's using like as frame of reference for it. Like, here's this time when me and Tails just shot through this purple pipe for some reason. That was one of our wacky adventures.
Alright, there is a very cool boss coming up here, and if you're familiar with the Archie Sonic comics, and you're familiar with Sonic Mania in any capacity, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you've never played this game before.
Oh yes, and it will also be where we get the last of the Chaos Emeralds. Because we haven't brought this up yet, but the Chaos Emeralds, we've been sort of encountering them as we go along. And, like, the final one you do get from the boss in this level if you have the others.
Oh my god, we're going through like a digestive tract. There he is!
Like, Silver Sonic here, he actually swallowed this thing, you know?
Not to be confused with Silver Sonic from the Master System version of Sonic 2. No, this is his little brother, apparently.
Well, the Mega Drive one, but yeah.
I mean, this guy just looks sort of derpy to me. I think it's clearly the sprite work, but it just looks derpy rather than terrifying.
It's interesting that they made him smaller in Mania. Because here he is, like, bigger than Sonic, or at least very close in size to him, whereas they're, like, half the height of him in Mania.
I saw for a split second the Chaos Emerald falling into the explosion, and I thought we'd just, like, lost the game there.
Yeah, like, I did actually... The first time I did that, like, my first take of that, I must have been standing on top of where it landed, and I didn't see it, and I panicked, and I just thought, better redo this.
Oh, I love this zone. It's a little bit like an ice level, mixed with some, like, fairy, fantastical stuff with fish flying in the sky, and, I'm having a bit of a sensory overload here, so I'm going to read the story of the Master System version of Sonic 2. Sonic decides to come back home after a short errand, but is shocked to see the place almost deserted. On the floor is a note written by Tails, explaining that he and the animals of the island have been kidnapped by Dr. Robotnik, and that his own safe return is exchanged for 6 Chaos Emeralds, to be given to 6 robots. There was no time to waste. Immediately, Sonic once again is out to thwart the evil scientist's plan for global domination. The storyline above comes from the game's instruction booklet. It is contradicted by an opening cinematic where Tails runs ahead of Sonic and Sonic witnesses his kidnapping.
This story couldn't stay consistent for even 30 fucking seconds. Actually amazing.
Well, if you applied basic logic, why would Robotnik have Tails write the ransom or kidnapping, though? It doesn't make a lick of sense.
Well, I don't know, it might be like a sort of psychological thing, because like if he's got this panic note from his best friend, Sonic might be more kind of disturbed and worried.
Huh.
And that might rile him up. We're getting into the deep psychological analysis of Sonic the Hedgehog here. But like if people fear their friends are in danger, they might be more likely to be rash and make bad decisions, and yeah, this isn't what they were thinking at all, was it?
I doubt it, but you are right in that, because that's part of the whole logic behind why nowadays, if people are going to kidnap someone, they're more likely to send a ransom video showing the person who's been kidnapped or having them speak out the message, because that immediately makes the person's loved ones much more on edge. Because they're just like, there's my loved one, they're the one who's in trouble, I'm going to do whatever it takes to help them, and obviously that's terrifying.
Alright, just getting back on topic for a second. That thing way back there where you spin around those little orbs and fly upwards, did that come before, like, the Sonic 3 special stages? If so, I think Aspect actually beat Sonic Team to the punch.
Well, yeah, it's kind of... This came out before, like we said, briefly before Sonic 2 Mega Drive, so yeah, it would have been quite a bit earlier.
Wow.
And that level was more interesting than fucking anything from 3K, just saying.
Oh, well. Ooh. You have an irrational hate boner. Like, what is the colour palette for this final boss arena?
It's fabulous, that's what it is.
It's every colour under the sun but green from the looks of things.
They really upgraded Eggman's sprite for this, like, Jesus, he's so animated.
He's also very happy.
Given they've only got to animate like his torso and face, like they don't need to worry too much about the extra colour that they'd use for it.
Oh my god.
Yes, look at these fucking flashing lights, Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
I don't have epilepsy, but even that was giving me a bit of jib. Is that like an instant death thing, Flame?
I can't remember. I think it hurts you if you're in the middle section. That's why I sort of rushed into the pipe as soon as it started coming up. Okay,
that is what the pipe system is for. Just don't accidentally press a wrong direction and come out of the pipes early, otherwise you might get twatted by a projectile. I've been there. I've definitely been there.
This one, there is a sort of pattern with these like projectile things that spin around. I never got the hang of what the pattern is, so I'm just sort of going the slow way, just trying to survive.
Obviously you can't reach this level without having all the Chaos Emeralds already, but should you get all of them and defeat Robotnik here, the ending will be a lot happier compared to the alternative.
So is the alternative Tails died and Sonic killed himself in misery or something ridiculous like that?
It's implied.
Yeah, let's just like put the cards on the table here. Eggman fucking exploded. I know he escaped. It's fine. Oh my god! It's like, haha, you cannot catch me, Sonic. But yeah.
Look at that grin.
And vaporized. God, He must have like a batch of clones somewhere. But yeah, in the bad ending, when you don't have all the Chaos Emeralds, there he is. There's Tails. Oh, good stuff. Now that I've been seizured half to death, Sonic is running along, and after the credits end, Sonic looks up into the sky, and he sees a formation in the stars of Tails. And that's it, the game just ends.
Oh, God, that is depressing.
It is indeed. So yeah, that was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Master System. I would say, apart from... Well, thank you. I didn't even realise Sonic was played by Sonic, but I would say, apart from a few annoying, like, game mechanics here and there, it's a much more fleshed out and unique game than the Master System version of Sonic 1, even though I prefer the first game, just in terms of, like, nostalgia and easier difficulty. This still isn't a bad game, nor is the game that's coming up next, so we're going to break now, and please join us tomorrow when we'll be covering Sonic the Hedgehog Chaos. See you then.